The 12th chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita comes right after the 11th chapter. In thought development. If the 11th chapter was not there, the 12th chapter would not have come. When Arjuna had that direct experience that the world of plurality is nothing but the infinite Lord Himself, He from whom everything has arisen, everything exists, and into Him everything disappears. When he had suddenly the idea that the outer world of Yama and Oiti are all nothing but a disturbance in the infinite consciousness, a doubt came in his mind. Other than the Vedic method of rejecting the world and turning the entire mental attention and all quietude in the caves of the Himalayas, rejecting everything, detaching himself from everything, renouncing everything, exclusively contemplating upon the Lord, the path of contemplation, which have been taught to him from childhood onwards. And he has learned it. Now he suddenly finds that what am I rejecting? After all, it is he himself. So instead of rejecting the world of plurality, names and forms, if I adore, worship, and in love turn towards it, am I not adoring and worshipping Thee? In nature, both of them are separate. He is infinite, he is finite. He is immortal, he is mortal. He is perfect, he is imperfect. True. But are they not all Thy own form, an extension? So, Arjuna doubts. Other than the orthodox, authentic path of contemplation, is it not possible that I, in devotion, worshipping the form, am I not adoring Thee and reaching out to Thee? O Lord, Thou art the goal. Therefore you alone can answer me. Or is it necessary that I must withdraw my mind from all the world of plurality and turn them all in the direction of the infinite reality? Which of these two paths is nobler, sir? Both seems to be logical, but I have no experience of it. I am asking Thee, which of these two paths is noblest? This is the question that Arjuna asks in the opening verse of the 12th chapter. And the answer to it, in a simple chapter or discourse of mere 19 verses, Krishna is giving an exhaustive reply to that question. Even if you are not interested in the spiritual aspect of it, it is a beautiful example, a perfect example of a paper written in science. Nothing unnecessary in it. And whatever that is said in it, if you remove one idea, it will be incomplete. A perfect artistic piece of literature called paper writing. Writing a paper upon a science research is an art in itself. You shall find as we proceed how the thoughts develop. And when the entire 12th chapter is over, look back You cannot delete from it one idea without making it ugly. You cannot add an idea without its protuberance or the rhythm, the beauty, the symmetry of that artistic piece is broken. Evam, thus. That one word thus becomes the hook to connect the discourse, the 12th discourse with the 11th. Evam means, as I have been shown just now in the 11th chapter by your grace, and I have understood that the world of plurality is nothing other than you yourself in another form. Evam, thus, recognizing the world of names and forms in front of me are all nothing but a disturbance of the infinite consciousness, the Lord Himself. Satatam, at all times, yuktaha, well steadfast in this understanding at all times. Yaha, whoever he be, he who Paryupasate, does all actions as a worship of thee. So worshipping form with the love and devotion, understanding that the Lord is not merely the symbol that you have kept at your altar, but that symbol represents the Lord who is the whole universe. Evam, thus, satata yuktaha, ever steadfast in your understanding, those who move towards you in devotion. Devotion, worshipping a form, the universe, the society, the community. Yechapyaksharam avyaktam, the old traditional method of contemplating upon you as formless, aksharam, the immutable, avyaktam, unmanifest, not something that you can perceive or feel or think and doesn't belong to the category of the world of OET, but something beyond. Thus those who turn their mind and intellect's attention to the higher is called the path of contemplation upon the formless. Of these two paths, the ancient path and the present path that suggests itself to me, which is the noblest path. Tesham, of these two, ka yoga vittama, Vestama yoga, which is the easiest way, the two paths available. In short, you and I in our spare moment sit in the drawing room and discuss, is the bhakti greater than jnana, or the path of jnana, contemplation upon the formless, is greater? And in that discussion we are always unscientific because of our prejudice against some path and our extreme attachment to the path. Those who are devotees, they will say that you must surrender to the Lord, the Creator and the Sustainer of the whole universe. While those who are contemplative people will say that these are all cock and bull stories, Rama, Krishna, Govinda, and then a form, and then ringing the bell. These the temples, etc. are all priest-class method of cheating the public. God is not in the temple. He is an all-pervading, eternal, immutable. You must contemplate upon the formless. Thus Arya Samajist would say that he has no form. The Sanatani Hindu would say that, no, he is Rama, Krishna, Govinda, Shiva. Whether it is a Saguna with a form, worshipping a form in a temple or church or mosque, or withdraw from all activities and quietly turn your silent, alert, vigilant mind exclusively to the formless, infinite, all-pervading, eternal, immutable reality. Which of these two paths is nobler, is the question. Krishna is not answering it with the prejudice against one path or extreme attachment to the other path. He is, as a scientist, placing all the cards on the table. He opens up both the paths, places it in front of you, and he says, Arjuna, you now choose which are the path that you want to follow. So then, he says, my avesha mana, bring your mind to me. It doesn't matter whether it is through devotion or through contemplation. The essential factor is bring your mind to me. All of us are very devoted. We visit our temple or church or mosque, the house of gods. But even though we are with great belief in the Lord, go there, at the altar when we stand, our mind runs away from Him. Oh Lord, give me that job or that contract or that profit or that. My uncle is not well, my father is not well, my children have got examinations, they have not studied well, please, oh Lord. Lord is standing there ready to bless you. Bless what? Your mind. And you go physically there and stand. Mind back again in the village. My property, my litigation, blah, blah, blah. Hi, hi. He says, bring your mind to me. Physically you have already evolved as best as I know. There is nothing more improvement is to be created in the anatomical structure or the physiological function. Biologically, you have reached the highest. Now the next stage of evolution is to readjust the mind. Bring the mind to me, I will adjust it and give it to you. That's why in all Hindu temples, gods stand in this way. Why? Give me your mind. As you are waiting, I will readjust it and give it to you. What? As you wait. Not 24 hours laundry. Not that tomorrow I will give you. No, 3 days. No. Right now. You surrender your mind. I will readjust it and give it to you. Immediately. Instant correction. Lord is standing there. And all gods in the endless temples in India, they are all standing there from the day of their pradishtha, installation, till today they are unemployed. Why? Nobody has given the mind. Nobody has given the mind. You go there and the Lord is anxious. Yeah, another bhakta is coming. Probably he will give. No, he will say, oh Lord. Next sentence, protect my children, my property, my business. Gone, mind gone. He can't catch the mind. Bring your mind to me. That is the discipline at the mental level. With your devotion, turn towards me. There, where there is love, there the mind goes automatically. So cultivate more and more devotion to the Lord and bring your mind to me. Maya avesha mana. Ye mam nityayukta upasade. Ever steadfast in the understanding that the world of OET, the world outside, are nothing but my own beloved Lord. Upasate, at the physical level, spend every ounce of your energy in serving the mankind. This is the discipline at the physical. Shraddhaya parayopeta, endowed with upeta, endowed with supreme Shraddha. Shraddha is called a faith. Faith is not belief. I have already explained it earlier. Belief will break down. When more than one calamity comes in your life, your belief becomes shaky. Which God, where God? There is no God, I tell you. Or else why should he kill my wife? This is how your argument goes. Of all wives available in the street, why should he kill my wife? Huh? Tell me. She was so healthy and all that. But then he killed him. He is a heartless fellow. Which God? I don't believe in God. Now I have lost all my faith in God. Belief will always die. Under pressure. Faith, on the other hand, once you have developed the faith, the more you are kicked, the more you hold on. Faith that moves mountains. So faith is that discipline at the intellectual level of a little study of the scriptures and try to understand it through reflection and get a vague notion of the nature of that reality and its relationship with the world outside. See that? The teacher in that one verse gives all the discipline necessary in the three levels. At the emotional level, turn your attention through love to the Lord. At the physical level, understanding that the world outside is nothing but the Lord himself does all your actions as a worship of the Lord. And at the intellectual level, try to study a little of the scripture and try to understand the relationship. Thus, when you are physically, mentally, intellectually involved in search of the Lord, Yuktatama Mataha, I consider them as the noblest. As a grihastha, a householder, you have your obligatory duties in society. Even while working in the society, constantly remember him that the world outside is nothing but he. When you come home, wash, at least for a few moments. Exclusively try to turn your mind's attention and devotion unto him. Short time, 10 minutes. Every day at least 10 or 15 minutes. Read at least one mantra of the Upanishad or 2 verses of the Gita to understand. You and I, we are not progressing spiritually because all that we do is only 2 minutes emotionally we turn towards him. And that too half-heartedly. Even emotionally turning is not all emotion. It is only a kind of consistent and shameless beggary. You are not praying to God but praying upon God. Praying upon God is animals do. Pray upon, jump upon, try to force him to do what you want. Therefore, even though I am practicing, nothing is happening. And again, you are only practicing emotionally. Your body and mind, intellect are not brought into the same path. You cannot move from one plane of consciousness to another unless all the 3 aspects of your personality is centered with it. If you have got a back pain, you can't sleep that day. If you are emotionally upset, you can't sleep that day. If you have got intellectually a problem, you can't sleep that day. If in order to sleep from the waking to go into the sleep condition, all the 3 aspects of your personality must wish, must learn to surrender in order to reach the next state of consciousness. Thus, in spirituality also, you can awake from your state of ego into the higher state of the self only when all the 3 aspects of your personality is equally involved in this great grand search. Now, one would think that reading that verse, that Krishna is very much prejudiced, he is a supporter of devotion only. No. In the following 2 verses, The teacher points out that the path of contemplation also is equally great. That path also takes you to the same goal. Experience divine that bhakti or devotion can take you. What about those who are contemplating upon the formless? They too reach the same goal. Instead of merely saying that those who are contemplating upon the formless, Krishna is dramatizing the contemplation by indicating 8 words. These words are generally called in the various scriptures of the world as definition of God. Strange. In all scriptures, after every few pages, the prophet, the saint, the sage repeats shamelessly that God cannot be defined. Language cannot explain that infinite state. Every few pages, in all scriptures, Quran, the Bible, the Brahmapada, the Buddhists, the Upanishads, the Gita constantly repeats. And yet, all scriptures are full of words. And these words of scriptures is describing God. And what is God cannot be described in words. Then what are the scriptures? Words. What do the words try to explain? God. See that? A contradiction. It appears to be a contradiction, but it is not. Definitions of a thing fall under 2 categories. Descriptive definition and indicative definition. When you define a thing, you can describe the thing and distinguish it from other things. So the listener understands what you are talking. This is called a descriptive definition. Descriptive definition is not possible on the self or the reality, the Lord in your heart cannot be defined descriptively, because descriptive definitions are all description of the unknown in terms of the known. It's called a definition. Who is he? Our Ramarau's elder brother. Understood. Everybody understood. Why? Our Ramarao is known to you all. His elder brother. Oh, I see. If supposing a man comes with me and you ask Swamiji, who is he? He is Chandrasekhar. Which is Chandrasekhar? Gopal's brother. Which Gopal? Ramu's children. Which Ramu? Right? Because each time I am describing him in terms of something unknown. When I say that our Raghavendra, Dr. Raghavendra here, he is in San Francisco. You know him? Yes. His brother's cousin, sister's nephew is married to the Gopal Rao's son's brothers, sons, cousins, sisters. I see. Now I have understood. Why? Raghavendra Rao is known. He is some sambandhi, some distant cousin or relation. He is this man. I have understood. The unknown must be defined and described in terms of the known. This is called definition. When the scriptures say that the God, the Lord, cannot be defined, this only means that as you now know is only the BMI, the PFT, the OAT. These things we know. In terms of these, we cannot describe him because he is unique. He is something other than all your experience in the world of time, in the world of plurality. Therefore, descriptive definition is not possible. But indicative definitions are possible. When a distant bird is flying, I indicate to you, look, that bird, ha ha, how beautiful, ha ha. I point out to the bird. The pointer never touches the pointed. The pointer is something other than the pointed. These pointers are called indicative definitions. All descriptions of God in all the scriptures are all pointers. And we misunderstand that the pointer is the pointed. What can we do? It is your misconception. The rishis have not made any mistake. They have tried to help you. But instead of the help, you are get yourself confused. That the Lord is infinite, eternal, immutable, one without a second. When you say, these are all pointers. When I thus point out to a bird, you set your vision in the line of the pointer, and then you leave the pointer, you independently proceed in the same direction. Then there is a very fair chance that you will meet the bird in the same way. All descriptions of God in all scriptures of the world are only pointers. Pointing not for your physical eyes to see, because it is a physical eye can see only outside. These are all pointers in that direction, to hold your mind and intellect's entire attention. And here are 8 such pointers that have been described in our scriptures. Each one of them, when you analyze, you will find that our attention is shifted away from BMI, PFT, OET level where we are constantly thinking, worrying about. It is in a new direction altogether. This adventure in thinking is called contemplation. Now the teacher starts. Yaha, whoever he be, he who, tu indeed, aksharam, ksharam, nashwaram, that which perishes every moment, that which is finite, ephemeral, aksharam, which knows no destruction. Now turn your attention. Swamiji, such a thing is not there in this world. Everything changes. Yes. In this world, everything changes. True. God is the changeless. So, there is no God. To the stupid idler, there is no God. But an intellectually stalwart hero, if he is changeless, he must be something other than you and I at this moment know. So turn my attention away from everything, and that is called contemplation. Aksharam, anirdesh, nirdesha, definition. Anirdesham, that which cannot be defined. I've already just now explained. It cannot be defined in terms of any of your experiences today. That it is like what you see or hear or smell. No, it is unlike all that you experience physically, mentally, intellectually. Anirdesha. Number 2, aroma. To show the direction in which to hold your attention. Avyaktam. Vyaktam that can be clearly seen either through the sense organs or the mind or the intellect. The world of OET are all Vyaktam. This is subjective. It is Avyaktam, which cannot be perceived by the sense organs or felt by the mind or thought of by the intellect. 3. Aksharam, Avyaktam, Anirdesham, Avyaktam. Paryupasade, constantly turn your attention towards it. Sarvatragam. This Atman, the self, is not a speck in your heart. Once you reach there, its nature is all pervading. You learn to sleep in yourself. Once you reach sleep, what is the dimension of the sleep? All pervading. Similarly, this Atman, the self, is sarvatragam. That is gone everywhere, pervading everything. Achindyam, which cannot be thought of by the intellect. The average man today thinks that there is nothing that you cannot think of. Hey, you may not have data, but with a little training, every intellectual man can bring the entire world of OET under its sway. True. The intellect can perceive and experience or think about the objects outside. But this is the very faculty because which the intellect has got intelligence. Therefore, it cannot be perceived by the intellect. Achindyam. Kutastham, that which remains changeless in the midst of all changes. Kuta, anvil. Anvil is the iron piece upon which the goldsmith or the blacksmith places the hot metal and hammers into shape. The pieces that are hammered changes the shape, but the anvil remains the same. Similarly, our behavior, physical, mental, intellectual behavior changes when it is hammered by the situations and experience of the outer world. And as I change from childhood stupidity to extravagant enthusiasm of the youth, to the mellowed middle age, to the gracious old age, hammered by the world outside, in all this hammering, that which remains changeless, immutable is consciousness. As an anvil, kutastam, achalam. The Hindu god cannot move. He is the most ancient god. Because of his age, he has no chalana, he cannot move. He is paralyzed up to the neck. Not the meaning. Movement is possible only to the limited. You and I can move about because we are limited. I am not at this moment at the door, and therefore from where I am to the place where I am not, I can move. Narayana, the Lord, can never move because He is all-pervading. Everything moves in space. Where will space move? If space is to move, it must move from where it is to a place where it is not. It's a contradiction in terms. Space is moving from where it is to where space is not. There is no place where space is not. Space is all-pervading. All-pervading cannot move. That which is limited, my finger is limited, therefore it can move. Because it is not there on its right side, left side, front and back. So I can move it from where it is to where it is not. But in all-pervading cannot move. Dhruvam, dhruvam satyam, truth. Truth is that which remains the same in the past, present and future is called truth. That which was not, shall not be, but apparently there in the present is called illusion or delusion. But that which remains in the past, in the present, in the future is called Satyam. Your childhood is not permanent, your youth is not permanent, middle age is not permanent, old age is not permanent. Your success is not permanent, your sorrows are not permanent, your joys are not permanent. What is permanent? In and through all your experiences, the same in the past, present and future, is the principle of consciousness. In the childhood you are conscious of childhood experiences, in the middle youth and the youthful experiences, in the old age experience. The experiences change. The world around me changed. My faculties and abilities changed. But that which illumines them all, the awareness of consciousness, is one and the same. That which was, is and shall ever be. Trikala abadhita vastu. That which is not contradicted in the three periods of time. That is called truth. Dhruvam. That here are 8 aromas. All of them are indicating this central pivotal truth in the depths of your own personality. The same reality. 8 aromas. Those who are thus contemplating in any one of these, or more than one. This is called the luxurious varieties available in Hindu scriptural literature. It's not that one Lord's Prayer. Everyone, all the time, every day, go on repeating. You one day meditating this way, another day in another way, all of them are pointing to the same. 8 arrow marks to indicate the direction in which to hold your mental attention. Not the mind, mental attention. Even those who are contemplating thus upon the formless, even they should bring all the 3 aspects of their personality into their discipline. Therefore, he said, Samniyam Indriya Grama. Indriya Grama, the entire bunch of sense organs. Indriya Grama, Grama village, a collection of houses together is called a Grama village. Similarly, Indriya Grama, Not the house, a collection of houses, but collection of all your sense organs. Indriyagram, all sense organs of perception and action. Samyam, well under control. The sense organs can be brought under control only when the mind is in devotion turned towards it. When the mind is not available, the sense organs cannot function. Samniyam mendriyagramam sarvatra samabuddhaya. Sarvatra in Sanskrit means in all times, places and conditions. So there is no excuse. Under those conditions, Swamiji, I got upset. No. At that time I got confused. No. At that place I got no. At all places, at all times, under all provocation, one who is samabuddhaya, they do not break their equanimity or equipoise of the intellect. Whether it is in Jerusalem, thousands of people are standing together, crying hallelujah. Jesus has half an inch smile. When he is carrying the cross and people are staring on his face for no fault of his, he half an inch smile. On the cross, nailing him and then putting in that hot climate of the Middle East, burning heat, hungry or thirsty. See? This is called a samabuddha. Under all conditions, at all times and places, one who can keep himself balanced, not getting upset at all. Samabuddhaya. Samabuddhaya. Sarvabhuta hite rata. So sense organs under control. Sense organs under control. Intellect under whatever that is happening in the outer world, and never allow the poise of your intellect to be disturbed. And what about the mind? Sarva bhuta hite reta. You may revel. Mentally you may revel. Not in the external world of objects. In doing sarva bhuta hitam. That which is a welfare for all living beings. Doing good to others is the only revelry of the human mind which is dedicated to the spiritual unfoldment. Such people, they prapnavandi, arrive at, reach, mameva, me alone. Me alone means me whom the devotee reaches. Me alone, they too reach me alone. Sarva bhuta hite rata. See that? 8 aromas. Those who are exclusively learning slowly to contemplate in that direction. Such people, when they are not allowing their mind to run away through the sense organs under control, mind in devotion, intellect in steady, kept steady and perturbed by whatever that happens in the world outside, and the mind reveling in doing good to all people all the time. Such people, they do reach that new dimension of consciousness. Which is reached by others who are devotees. So whether it is through the path of devotion or through the path of contemplation, when you are taking up this pilgrimage, it is not a partial personality will ever reach there. It must be all the three aspects of your personality must get involved. Then alone we can reach out to the higher. When the student asks the question, which of the two paths is nobler? Is the path of devotion, or worshipping the form in love, or the path of contemplation, contemplating upon the formless? Krishna expressed that both are equal. It's only a question of who has got emotional nature. To him devotion is easy. Those who are highly intellectual, the path of contemplation is easy. Now, the student doesn't want to come to any judgment. He would love the teacher to advise, just as your children. And the high school is over, he comes to daddy and says, Daddy, what should I take, commerce or science? And the stupid fathers thoughtlessly will say, you take better, commerce you take. And he takes commerce. He doesn't apply his mind to it. And when he fails, he says, what can I do, Papa? You asked me to take commerce, and it's your responsibility. There are the Indian boys also. Better now that you have learned and education is over and you have got a good job also, and it's time that you enter into life and you get married. Papa, you find out that I will marry whoever it be. I've got great faith in you. No stupid father should fall into this trap. Never take the responsibility. You advertise or bring about and then give 3-4 photos. This is a little fat variety. This is a thin variety. But she is not fair. This girl is thin, fair, but a slight, very little. Only everybody will not see it. Little squint eye. This is a beautiful girl of culture, of good family, and lot of hair and a slim, fair, but uneducated. You give all the choices. Now you select. Papa, you select. I can't select. You say that, now then, don't select and you die as a bachelor. What do I care? I am not anxious to get a grandson. I have already 3-4 of them. The father must refuse. If you select the girl, after all, two individuals coming together. When they are to merge together, there will be sharp corners. In the beginning, it has to be rubbed out and smoothened and then soiled. But when the father has selected the girl, the boy will never try to adjust himself. Within 6 months, they have quarreled. She has gone to her father's house and you are there in the father's house. Another piece of broken furniture sitting down. If supposing you selected it, and then when you quarrel, and Papa, this girl is like that. Shut up, you don't come to me, you selected it. You can throw it on his shoulders. The responsibility is on him to adjust. See? In the spiritual path also, Swamiji, you tell me, which path I should follow, Bhakti or Jnana? Go and hang yourself, that's the best. If you want my advice, hang yourself. Sing Ram Ram and hang. I will not tell you. Why? If I tell you, you will say that after 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, what can I do? That Guru asked me to bhakti, and I am not feeling bhakti at all. I am jnana, but what can I do? That Guru told me bhakti. Sarji, what mantra I should take? I tell, if I stupidly tell you Shiva mantra, you carry on. After 3-4 years, you will say that, Sarji, you gave me Shiva mantra, but my love is for Krishna. So that the disciples always try to trip the teacher. The teacher must be smart enough to pull him down before he trips you. The moment he asks for a mantra, give him half a dozen and say, choose yourself. Yeah. Arjuna got confused. Poor fellow. He thought that no, Krishna will uphold one path and say that alone is the path. Hare Krishna movement, bhakti alone. Vedanta and Swami Chinmaya Mission, contemplation alone. Each one holds on and fight it out. He thought that Krishna will do it. He is a scientist. He is not there for because of his prejudice, love, or likes or dislikes. He is placing the data in front of him. He has placed all the cards in place in front of you. You chose. But the poor boy is an army man. He has been always told by others what he should do. That is the training in the army. By the right march! They will march. Even if there is a wall, they will march over the wall and jump on the other side. Even if it is a tank, he will go. But even in the tank, he will go right, left, right, left. Do as you order. Come on. They are not supposed to think for themselves. Now the poor fellow has been, whole lifetime he has been thus in the army. And Krishna, you tell me one part. If the army, when he is moving forward, if you give the instruction to the commander that if it is everything is safe, you go forward, or else you may come backward. He will neither go forward or backward. He must be told, go ahead. People will die. That is what is called army, war. Go ahead. Battles we may lose, but a war we shall win. Churchill-like. Uncompromisingly. That is called army. Now here the poor boy looked at Krishna, don't put me in the horns of a dilemma. He said, okay, I will give you a touchstone, a point of reference with which all of you can also measure whether you are fit for the path of meditation at this moment, or only for the path of devotion at this moment. Thus, I shall give you. Here the teacher gives, klesho adhikataratesham. To them, the path is really klesha, difficult, more difficult. Who? Avyakta asakta chetasam. Those who are put up their lives or their mind to contemplate upon the formless, their path is rather severe. Why do you say so? Avyakta hi gatir dukkham. Avyakta gati. To conceive or to deal with a topic which is conceptual is rather difficult to man. Majority. That is why in a university you will find mathematics students are very few. MSc Mathematics. Oh, university, how many students are there MSc Mathematics? 6. What is the total in the university? 23,000. In 23,000, 6 people only for mathematics. Yes, sir, this year we have only 6 people. Oh, I see. Probably last year you had more. No, last year, sir, is very poor, 4 only. This year 6 we have got. How many are there in philosophy, MSc? Postgraduate. Swamiji, philosophy also we have got. Postgraduate we have got. How many? Swamiji, 2. Including the professor. Why is it so? In mathematics, in philosophy, there is only one solution for one problem. But in history, economics, anything you write is right. Why? Even if you give 0 mark now, tomorrow he will become a President of America and say that this is my economics. He'll have to rewrite the whole book. So it can be that also. So pass mark you will get. Only you must write a lot of number of pages in the examination hall, so that he gets tired of reading your foolishness. So much he has written. All right, give him pass mark. That way. More people will be there. Grosser the subject matter, more students will join. Domestic science. Do you know the number? All the students, half the students are standing outside because they need not listen. They already know how to make pakode, how to look after the child. These are the things in domestic science. This vegetable has got these vitamins. That has got that vitamins. Balanced diet. But everybody joins. Why? But if you pass the exam, you get a BA, you become a graduate. Cheaply. But the conceptual ideas are rather difficult. Therefore, to contemplate upon the formless is rather difficult to majority of students. That doesn't mean that there is nobody. Mathematics is difficult, but there are students who can very easily score 130 and 120 out of 100. Because to them mathematics is so natural. Avyaktahidir dukkham dehavadbhir avapyade. Those who are dehavadbhir, those who are identified with the body, to them continuous contemplation upon subtle subject is very difficult, because the body will interfere with them at all times. You sit down to contemplate, you start feeling that one more pillow if you have got behind, I can go. You go and bring a pillow and keep it there. And then start contemplating. Very hot. So you get up and put on the fan. And then sit down. As soon as you sit down and then Lord, which is all pervading. Oh, it's too fast. So you go and slow it down. It goes on and on and on, until at last you think that a cup of tea and then that the body will demand endlessly, and you are yielding to it. Body will never allow you to continuously and consistently think. You must be able to forget the body, as the great scientists, surgeons, artists. They forget their body in the theme that they are contemplating. Dehavadbhiravapyade.